Yo, what's up? Welcome to Kind of Funny Games Daily for Thursday, November 5th, 2020. I'm one of your hosts, Blessing Adeoye Jr. Joining me is Tim fucking GiBiz. Oh no.
It's a Thursday.
Guys, things are broken, and I'm trying to figure out why Stream Deck's being a bad boy. But
Kev's doing his best. Yeah. Let's just
we got closer, right? We got closer, right? That time there was still it hung on.
I mean, closer is relative, right?
It's
you
true.
know, some may say closer, some may say it was all the same.
Yeah.
But who knows?
I would be
Tim,
that some. Yeah, what's
Tim,
up, Bless?
I've been having so you know how we're all like in a pandemic, right? And like we're all working from home and trying to find what is our new normal.
Mm-hmm.
Lately, I've been doing this thing where I've been making myself breakfast.
Awesome.
And like it's been helping me like get a good start to the day, helping me get energized and whatnot. Today I was kind of late jumping on the Discord call because I decided this morning I was gonna make eggs and bacon, and I still have like bacon left here. And so like at a certain point during the show, I'm going to sneak bacon into my mouth. I'm not going to tell you when. I'm not going to say when it's going to happen, but bacon will sneak into my mouth.
But you'll know. You'll know when it happens.
I love that you phrase it.
Maybe
that
you
way.
won't.
I love that you're making content out of you eating. But it's now it's like a fun surprise. Like maybe Kevin will even add an effect every time you eat the bacon where some type of thing happens on the screen. I don't know.
A bacon watch. Because here's what I didn't want to do. I didn't want to stuff very hot bacon fresh out the oven because I put this bacon in the oven. I didn't want to like just throw it in there. Right. Save time.
Burn.
I was making eggs on the stove.
You don't got two frying pans? Or you make them on the same one, you get the egg cooked with those bacon juices, and you're like, oh, that's an extra crispy egg.
I don't know. I like bacon. First of all, I don't like sharing the pan with the bacon and the egg because like then like the egg gets all like, it gets all like dirty from the bacon.
Yeah,
like,
it
not
looks
dirty,
dirty.
But you know what I mean?
No, it looks dirty.
I
get what you're saying, but like that doesn't work you up. It doesn't get you going.
Not really. No, I don't want my eggs to have that much flavor. You know, I want my eggs to have the flavor that I want my eggs to have, which is some salt, some pepper, maybe cheese if I'm feeling frisky.
Get frisky, Bless. Get frisky.
Yeah. But that's about it. I don't need the bacon taste in my eggs unless like they're on the same plate and like I'm messing around there, but not from the pan.
Hold on, your eggs isn't usually on the same plate as your bacon.
Well, no, they are. Yeah, but that's when it's acceptable. Like when the bacon grease works its way to the egg on the same plate, then it's like, oh, let's fucking go. But like putting them in the same pan to cook, I feel like it's a step too far as the relationship between the bacon and the eggs.
So just
you know what I mean?
I disagree fundamentally with everything you're saying.
Really?
I mean, yeah, but like that's okay. We can disagree.
So do you not bake your bacon?
No, I don't bake my bacon. I definitely fry it. And then
I do both. Depends on the situation.
A lot of times I will use that grease for the environment, obviously, to cook my egg. And then sometimes...
And where do you want to...
Hold on, because this is where things get a little wily, and this definitely doesn't happen very often. Then I put bread down, and I toast the bread on the pan. Fuck! It's too soon! I wasn't ready!
He snuck the bacon because this is Kind of Funny Games Daily. I want to take that tangent and segue it into a different tangent that is a little bit more video games related. Kev, can you bring up the tweet, please, that I put there from one Brian Altano, the one and only Agent Bizzle.
Wait, hold on. He's muted.
Kevin, if there are gold stars, I'd give you a gold star right now. Oh my god,
it's good stuff, right? I mean, technology is crazy. It's
crazy. If you're not a video watcher, you're missing out right now.
I appreciate you, Kev. That's exactly what I wanted you to do. So thank you for that. But Brian Altano tweets out, "We've been staring at the same map all week, so here are 4 different ones for you to look at. You deserve it." And it is the map from Skyrim, it's the map from Link to the Past, from Super Mario World, and from GTA Vice City. Now, the reason I wanted to bring this up is, first off, I love video game maps. There's something super cool about them.
100%.
This painting right here is actually the Super Mario World map, just done super pretty. But Kev, can you bring up the Grand Theft Auto Vice City map?
I got it open.
Because that was the one that I haven't seen in a very long time. And I clicked on it and I looked at it and I started looking at all the alleyways and all the streets and all the different ways you can turn your car. Bless. And I got to say, I am shocked at how small this is.
Yeah,
it felt so big and expansive when we played this game, but it's like, but I mean, this is nothing.
Weren't you,
Kevin? Could you bring up this San Andreas map? Because I feel similarly about that one, though. I feel like that one might actually be big.
That one was enormous, right? Like not even big.
Because that was like 3 different cities.
Oh, that's right.
My fingers are all over the place.
But this is just so crazy because even this, it wasn't 3 cities, but it was divided into the 3 different bits of the game, right?
At different sections, yeah.
Imagining this map divided by 3 being all that you can do. How did we think that it was this gigantic, ever-expanding land? Because it was, you know?
It felt that way. Like, especially with GTA 3. I remember playing that game at my friend's Addison's house and being like, wait, so it's just a whole city? And like, yeah, like it was a whole city, and that felt different and crazy. And then when I finally, it was my uncle who bought GTA San Andreas for me, even though I was definitely way too young for it. When he got that, and like I started to realize how big that game was, that's when I was like, games can't be bigger than this. I guess, yeah. This looking at the San Andreas map, actually,
I mean,
that thing,
it's enormous. Hold on, let me see. I'm trying to get a good image of it. The problem is, it's got all like terrain and shit. Like we don't have it. Why is this so small? Open link. Let me see. Because it should be a really big.
Have you tried picking the HD button at the top? Oh, there. Well, yeah, there we go. There we go. Oh, this is like a very detailed map. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, this is really interesting.
But even still, though, like I think this does get the message across of like how big this thing is.
How do you guys? Did any of you guys ever ride a bike all the way around?
No.
No.
Okay. All right, I'm the only one then. I'm the only one.
Yeah.
Did you ever do the thing where you ran from one side of the map to the other?
No, but I did a lot of like flying from one side to the other on a jet.
Yeah,
and then jump out the jet.
Because I feel like running. I feel like if you ran, and I'm talking like if you're playing as CJ, right? Like I'm not translating this map to real life. If you ran from one side of this map to the other, I would have to imagine it'd take like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It might even take longer than that. I feel like
I wanted 20 minutes. Tim wanted an hour. I kind of want to make this a bet. Because I'm sure we can find this information.
That's the thing is, like, I remember we did this at IGN for GTA 5, which is different.
Oh yeah, and that's a way bigger map.
Yeah. So
how much bigger?
I'm pretty sure that I think it took an hour.
I'm gonna say 20 minutes. Kevin, while you're looking that, I want to let people know that today's stories include an Xbox Series X review roundup, PlayStation 5's at launch being available only online, and Warframe on PS5 being gorgeous, because this is Kind of Funny Games Daily, each and every weekday at 10 a.m. live right here on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. We run you through the nerdy news you need to know about, and we eat bacon. If you're watching live, you can correct us when we get stuff wrong by going to kindoffunny.com/you're wrong. If you don't want to watch live, you can watch later on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, roosterteeth.com, or you can listen later on podcast services around the globe by searching for Kind of Funny Games Daily. To be a part of the show, at patreon.com/kindoffunnygames, where bronze members or above get to write in, and silver members or above get the show ad-free with the exclusive daily post show. Housekeeping, in case you missed it, there is a first impressions that went up earlier this week for Ghostrunner, where Andy and I talk all about that game and share our thoughts and impressions. And let me tell you, Andy loves that game, and so you should check out that first impressions to understand why. That's up right now on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames and on podcast services around the globe. As a reminder, Extra Life is happening this Saturday starting at 10 a.m. Pacific time. You can catch the whole Kind of Funny crew and our shenanigans for 12 hours straight, as we'll be raising money for the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals. You can catch it all going down live right here on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. And also community streams. Community stream hosting starts Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific time. That means if you come to twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames, you can see people from all around the Kind of Funny community playing, raising money for those big, beautiful kids. Remember, you can go to kindoffunny.com/extralife to donate. And as a reminder, be on the lookout for PS I Love You XOXO in your feeds tomorrow. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Tom Bach and Blackjack. Before I get into who we're brought by today, Kevin, did you find the answer to the question we're looking for?
Oh. What was the question?
Are you still looking?
Wait, what? Like a map?
Yeah, like it was.
How long does it take to walk from one side to another?
Oh no,
you'll probably have to YouTube it.
Yeah, I didn't look for that. I found I just wanted to say. I just wanted to say what?
Can you bring up the link that I added under the Altano tweet at the top?
Yeah, give me a second.
This show.
I don't know. I don't know that I like the GTA 5 map. You know?
Like, in what way?
It just didn't have as much diversity as the other maps, I felt. Like, I understand it's big, but a lot of it was just desert. You know what I mean?
I feel you. Yeah. I'm actually right there with you. Like, because I absolutely love GTA 5, but when we're talking about the map, yeah, like, once you get out of Los Santos, it's like...
Oh, it's all desert.
All right.
Yeah.
It's just all desert and, like, you know, empty land and, like, pockets of small towns pretty much presented all over the place, but that's not... I don't want to go there.
Right?
You know? Like, there's nothing out there for me. GTA San Andreas, like you can go to Las Venturas, you can go to San Fierro. There's always something cool waiting for you in all those cities.
Yep.
A Gamescast topic that we probably won't be able to get to till next year because this year's going to be crazy. Best video game maps.
Ooh,
we just spend the whole time just talking about maps.
But like that's
so fun.
Such an easy one. Best map of all time is the Assassin's Creed the last one, Odyssey.
God. I love you, Kevin.
You know what I mean?
Real quick, I just want to give a shout out.
I want to be in Greece.
This is what I was talking about. This is the painting I have back there. It's super dope. Support him.
Oh,
Orioto.
You're pointing at the wrong spot.
That's Super Mario World?
What? That's Super Mario World.
There you go. Now you pointed
awesome.
way to the left of it.
I hate you so much. Let's talk about the goddamn news.
Today we're brought to you by Quip and DoorDash, but I'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. It's time for some news. We have 6 stories today.
Baker's dozen.
Starting with our number 1 Xbox Series X review roundup. That's right, Xbox Series X reviews have been popping off left and right. The big embargo lifted. We now all know how people feel about the Xbox Series X. I've pulled a selection of different reviews from different folks around the industry. I'm going to start off with Jez Corden at Windows Central, who gave it a 4.5 out of 5 and says, the Xbox Series X is a spectacular console. Every aspect of it is dripping with the love of a massive team that clearly cared about every millimeter, every line of code that was poured into this monolithic whole. Waiting for the full-blown feature set of RDNA 2 may cost Microsoft the sales race in Q4, but for those who are lucky enough to get their hands on it, the Xbox Series X is console gaming at its most excellent and most refined. In terms of the ecosystem the Xbox Series X is attached to, there are still legitimate questions to be asked about Microsoft's ability to deliver high-quality, photorealistic AAA exclusive games. This is one area Microsoft's competition thoroughly wins both on mindshare and consistency. There are signs that the tide is about to shift in Microsoft's direction with the purchase of ZeniMax Media, alongside a promising library of upcoming Xbox games from both first and third-party developers. The backward compatibility effort on the Xbox Series X cannot be understated for its meticulousness and execution. Thousands upon thousands of games are launching with this console, from your favorite service-type experiences like Rocket League and Fortnite to single-player classics like Doom and Fallout 4. Hundreds of games are effectively getting free remaster treatment, boosted to their maximum resolutions and frame rates thanks to the forward-looking design of the Xbox ecosystem architecture. Michael Heim at GameSpot gave it an unscored review, and instead of pulling the actual blurb from the bottom that sums everything up, I'm going to pull an excerpt from toward the middle of the review to talk about some certain aspects specifically. He writes, those who have been using the Xbox One for some time will notice that things haven't changed all that much from the current user interface. Navigation is much snappier on the Xbox Series X, but it maintains the same overall look and feel, which I personally don't mind since it works well enough. What really brings that snappy navigation into its own is the quick resume feature. It's one of the highlights of using the Xbox Series X. You can have around 5 to 6 game states suspended and jump between those games without having to reboot them. All you do is hit the home button and switch to another game, and Quick Resume takes care of the rest. It's built into how the system operates. Quick Resume retains those suspended states after turning off the console and even unplugging the power cord. I know that not everyone will jump between that many games, but it's really convenient for hopping back into the ones you're frequently playing. Then lastly, I'm going to pull the Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S reviews from Ryan McCaffrey at IGN. I'm going to start off with Series X, where Ryan McCaffrey gave it an 8 out of 10 and says, we can only assume that the Xbox Series X will wow us with new and spectacular next-gen games eventually, because there isn't much to judge it on right now. But in the meantime, no matter what current games you throw at it, your loading times will be drastically cut. Your frame rates will be smoother, and your resolutions will be higher. This bold and minimalistically designed box is quiet, compact for both the power it packs and especially how it compares to the PS5. capable and loaded with convenience features like instantly resuming and cycling between any of your recently played games. Compared directly to the PlayStation 5 specs, it flat out gives you more power for the same price. It's going to be a joy to see what developers actually do with it in the coming years. And then talking about the Series S, Ryan McCaffrey gave it a 7 out of 10 and said, all in all, the Series S offers plenty of present-day value considering it only costs $300. It's limited to 1440p resolution and has a claustrophobically small storage space. But it's tiny and quiet, with snappy load times, and can play games at 120 frames per second if your TV can support it. I'm mostly concerned about its long-term viability. Games are only going to get more demanding going forward, so the Series S isn't something that I'd recommend as your main gaming platform. But that doesn't mean it doesn't have its place. The Series S is an excellent second console, like if you want something for a kid who plays on a smaller screen for it, or for example, if you have a PS5 but want to occasionally dip into the smorgasbord that is Game Pass. As long as you're clear on what the Series S's strengths and limitations are, it's a unique, budget-friendly way to take your first steps into a new console generation. That was a lot of rating, but I think speaks to what I've seen from reviews across the industry. I feel like a lot of people are saying a lot of the same things, being that it is an impressive console. Quick resume is awesome. Backwards compatibility is awesome. Where are the games? And that's kind of what everybody kind of comes back to. There's a tweet from Janet Garcia that I saw that I thought was good, where she said Xbox Series X/S really is a music festival with no headliners. And from my experience with the Xbox Series X so far, I kind of echo that same sentiment, where I absolutely love backwards compatibility. I talk about it all the time. I like going back to old games. I like being able to go back and play Sonic Generations whenever I want to. But there does feel like a lack of, all right, here's something future looking. Here's something brand new. I feel like Halo Infinite getting delayed kind of was a blow to the launch lineup. And then we're going to have to wait a little bit before we see things that feel like they're truly, I'll say, next gen from Xbox Series X. Tim, do you agree?
I do agree, but I think that, so going with this music festival analogy here, it definitely is lacking a headliner. I've had mine for a week now, it feels like, and I've been having a great time with it, but there doesn't seem to be that kind of like tentpole event game that I'm like playing and feeling like, oh man, this is what the Xbox Series X is. However, it does feel like even though there's no headliner, there's a ton of amazing artists performing at this music festival, and their songs sound better than ever. Like that's the thing to me that's so impressive, where it's like there's always something kind of comforting about listening to music that you used to love before, but now it feels new again, because like it's like listening to Rolling Stones music, but it's not in mono. It's like actually remastered, and like you have that moment of like, oh wow, there's actually a soundstage here. It's that same thing for video games, where playing Cuphead and the loads being what they are, which is non-existent, and then using the quick resume stuff to jump into other games, it is fantastic. And like I very much disagree with the like, oh man, I haven't had a next gen experience. I feel like I'm constantly having a next gen experience. It's just so far that experience isn't a brand new video game. But the structure and foundation of what this system is, it is so exciting to me. It feels like the Series X, I can't speak to the S, but the X is fantastic. And if this is the bare minimum and this is the level that we're jumping off from, it's going to be a very exciting time. Do I recommend anybody rushing out to buy one right now? No, because there isn't that one big tentpole thing. But just know that everything that you've loved before is here, but better than ever. And if you haven't played Xbox games for a while, Game Pass is the best deal ever to have it all there. I love the way it's organized. Knowing which games are optimized for X and S is like a clear little logo on the game, like the box art itself. It's awesome. Like it is such a just great experience. It makes playing these games and looking for these games fun. And this might not be the most interesting thing that I've ever said to a lot of people that are like, why would I want to spend $500 for that? But Nick Scarpino always talks about how much time he spends blading through Netflix as opposed to actually watching Netflix. Just blading through the options on the Xbox Series X is so enticing. It is just like, it makes you realize like the sheer breadth of content that is available in a true next gen fashion.
Yeah. Like every time I go through that library, the Game Pass library specifically, I have that feeling of, man, what if I had this when I was a kid? Like, I couldn't imagine having this growing up, just access to all these games, right? Because like, you know, my library growing up was limited. One, because like my parents weren't going to buy me every single game that existed, but then also like, even in terms of how many games can you own, right? Like that's just a different thing, right? There are hundreds of games that are available in terms of software, right? That are already available on the Xbox Series X. And they're all just right there, or a great amount of them are right there for you using Game Pass. And so like to you even talking about like having a next gen experience already with games that have already come out, like that kind of speaks to my experience with playing games like Mirror's Edge, which Mirror's Edge is was kind of my go-to game when I first got my hands on the Series X, because I know how Mirror's Edge plays. I know how it runs. You know, I love Mirror's Edge. Why not give it a shot on this brand new next gen system? And even that alone, right? Like one of the reviews I read here mentioned how games are essentially getting the remaster treatment with nothing really done to them, right? Just through boosting. And load times alone on Mirror's Edge, I'm like, wow, I can't believe this game is loading this fast, to the point where you get to the elevator moments, you know, where the elevators are obviously there to hide the loads. You get there and it's like, man, imagine if this game was programmed without the elevators in them and they were just load screens. That would probably be better in this situation where the next level would be loaded already, and I wouldn't have to wait in this thing. Like, who would have thought that putting in this thing that was supposed to mask the loading in 2020 is now the thing that is pointing out like, oh yeah, there's loading happening. Or at least at the time, right? We needed to have this here so that we could have loading happening here. That's totally, really cool. That's really awesome.
Someone in the chat was saying like it's really telling that Tim is bringing up Cuphead at talking about the Series X review. The only reason I bring it up is because that is the game I'm most intimately familiar with its load times, because the amount of times that I've died and had to reload the stuff, like I know how that feels. And so to play it here and have that not exist is fantastic. Like it is a game-changing experience for a game I'm intimately familiar with. And going into more technically advanced games like Gears 5, like it's just seamless, man. And like I don't even need to talk about how good it looks. It looks fantastic. Like it is eating these games for breakfast when it comes to just raw power. Very exciting.
Dude, I've been playing Forza Horizon 4, and I putting it into performance mode and seeing that game run at a smooth 60 is is such a cool experience compared to how I played it on my base Xbox One, right? Like it feels like a world of difference, and it feels really awesome. I got a question here from MamaThisIsGarbage, who writes into patreon.com/kindoffunnygames, just like you can, and says, so Xbox Series X and S reviews are out, and I've got one question. Should the games or lack thereof play a factor in the review of a console itself? I feel like if I were to review a phone, I wouldn't factor in the apps that are or aren't available into the score/impressions. Maybe I'm thinking about it the wrong way. Curious about your thoughts. The reviews have been positive overall, so this isn't a huge deal. Thanks.
Reviewing consoles like with a score is always an interesting thing, and like I understand the value of it. Like really, it's just a way to kind of explain your feelings towards the thing at the moment. It's going to change over time, and they always do. Like IGN, I know personally, has changed their review scores for consoles as the generation goes on. I think you have to factor in the games that are available, the apps that are available. And I think if I was reviewing a phone, it'd be the exact same way. When a new phone launches and apps that you rely on in your everyday life are incompatible, that's a big issue. That falls into what you're actually reviewing, which is the experience. And I think that when it comes to the next gen consoles, it's like you have to look at the offerings overall and review that experience as well.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Like even for the phone analogy, like on my whatchamacallit, Galaxy S10, right? Like the phone app is an app, the messaging app is an app, and like if there were no apps available for me no messaging apps available for me that I thought were good, if I was reviewing a phone, that would factor in, you know, as opposed to like right now I use a third-party messaging app as opposed to the default messenger, and you know, like if that wasn't available for me and I didn't like the default messenger, for me that would factor in. I think software does play a part, and especially for game consoles, what is a console if not the games you're gonna play on it? And so like it is. I do feel weird about numbered scores for consoles. Because for the Xbox and the PlayStation, it's like, what is the number going to say about those? Especially like when you're talking about features that are pretty much in parity between both. You know, like both are running off of SSDs. both are going to play the majority of third-party games. Like, yeah, they're going to be first-party lineups available on both, but those you're going to see the majority of those games come after the launch. Like, we're only getting a taste at launch. And on the side of Xbox, right? Like, you're not really getting any. I'm not gonna say you're not getting any because you get like Tetris Effect Connected, which I believe is going to be exclusive for some time on X and S. But like, yeah, like numbers do feel weird.
But numbers feel weird always. Like, my thing is like there's consistency. It's like IGN and GameSpot use numbered reviews for their games. So they're going to do that for this. The number backs up the words. The words back up the number. It's not like it's just an arbitrary number that they're putting on stuff. It's like Ryan McCaffrey gave it an 8 and gave it a 7 for the X and S respectively based on the words that he put behind those numbers. So it's like, it's fine. The numbers are going to change. You understand what this is. I highly doubt people are looking at this number and being like, well, I'm not going to buy it now then. But that is kind of the purpose for the people that need these reviews. That's what it's there for.
Yeah. And it's like, as far as like how games speak to the consoles too, right? Like I feel like we're in such an interesting place for Xbox regarding games, because I'm not of the mind that Xbox won't get games. Like, Xbox, if anything, is poised to like get a bunch of games, right? Between ZeniMax and the first party studios that are already there, and like the initiative and all the studios that we've seen Xbox buy over the last few years, and like third party partnerships, stuff like Don't Nod and Tell Me Why, like that stuff's not going to stop. The Xbox is going to get a lot of games. Like, that's not necessarily a thing that I'm worried about. And so like, again, these reviews are for launch, obviously. Like, these reviews are to tell you whether or not you should go out and get one right now, and that's going to change from person to person. But yeah, as far as how games factor in there, like, I feel like we're going to be able to talk about this stuff a lot deeper, especially in the coming weeks as we get both consoles out. And I guess I'll leave it there because I have stuff to say. Most of it I can't actually say it.
Yeah,
so I'll save that stuff. Story number 2: PlayStation 5 launch day orders are online only. This is from the PlayStation blog. The launch of the PS5 console on November 12th or November 19th, depending on your region, is almost upon us. In the interest of keeping our gamers, retailers, and staff safe amidst COVID-19, today we're confirming that all day of launch sales will be conducted through the online stores of our retail partners. No units will be available in store for purchase on launch day, November 12th or November 19th, depending on your region. Please don't plan on camping out or lining up at your local retailer on launch day in hopes of finding a PS5 console for purchase. Be safe, stay home, and place your order online. Gamers who have pre-ordered for pickup at their local retailer should still be able to do so at their designated appointment time under the retailer's safety protocols. Please confirm the details with your local retailer. Tim, does this surprise you at all?
It doesn't surprise me. I think that it's not something that I necessarily expected, but I think it makes a lot of sense. And there's just the reality of how many PS5s are out there in the wild that are able to be sold. And I don't think that number is as high as a lot of us would expect. Or desire is probably a better word there. It's like it's the supply and demand, and we know that the demand for the PS5 is extremely high. I think that this is the best way to keep people safe with all the COVID stuff. I am interested in if that's the truth behind all of this, or if there's like other reasons of why that they're not exactly like straight up saying here. But again, not a huge surprise. I think that it's going to be difficult to get a PS5 if you don't have one already, but at least there are more being released at launch day online. At least there's something that people that don't have one right now can look forward to.
Yeah, I think this is a good call. I have no problem with this. I think that this is a good call, especially just to keep people safe, right? Like I kind of like the idea that, especially on launch day where things are already going to be busy as far as people picking up their online orders, don't add to that chaos. Like don't add to the amount of people that are going to be in store or outside of a store waiting to pick something up. That it makes me wonder when we can expect units to actually be in stores. Like when they say launch day, do they mean the day after launch? That's when units will be in stores, or is it like you can stay tuned for early next year or like later
I think that it's definitely. I imagine there'll be more this year, but I don't think that they're going to like telegraph it. I think it's just going to kind of happen. There'll be shipments. Oh, GameStop has a couple. Oh, Best Buy has a couple. And just going to eventually keep rolling out until it is just a norm that everybody has it. I know we're going real long on the show today, but I wanted to quickly just bring up, I wonder if Xbox Series X is going to sell out as much as next-gen consoles normally do. Like, I wonder if it's going to be easier to get a Series X in December, you know?
I mean, I think this could play a factor in that, right? Like, if Sony doesn't provide units for retailers, right, like in store, and Xbox does, then yeah, like I think that puts everybody in a very interesting position. If Xboxes are just more readily available.
You don't think it's a bad look for Xbox or Microsoft now to like be like, we are going to be doing lines? I mean, I guess they don't have to bring attention to it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, I do feel like it's a bad look when it's like there's reporters being like, and now there are people doing lines. You know?
Yeah, I feel like Xbox can totally like brush that off their shoulders and be like, "That's Best Buy's problem."
And that's the thing is like you can point to retailers.
I know, but I feel like Sony,
GameStop's doing that. We don't control them.
Yeah, but I do feel like Sony now made the thing where it's like clearly companies can control it. You know what I mean? This seems like a mix of an interesting PR move to mitigate like the fact that like they may not have enough consoles to do this.
That's the thing.
But also a smart move to like set the narrative. Yeah, I mean Sony on top of stuff. That's what I like it.
I guess, but I don't think this narrative's going to be picked up by anything that really matters. It's not like this is going to make national news. This story, you know what I mean?
This might not, but later when Xbox has giant lines, like when let's say Target has giant lines, it might be something that comes up. Tim, you have to stop being scared.
Cool Greg just scared the fuck out of me. He's like,
oh my god, tell him to come say hi. We all miss him.
I miss Cool Greg.
I hate the finger motion that he does. I hate it. You know what I mean? Uh-oh.
Which one? Like the turning off the mic on?
No. When he like tells people to come over and he does the like, yeah. Oh man, he looks fit. You know what I mean? Tight everywhere.
Yeah, he's been working out. Man, miss Cool
Sorry
Greg.
about that. Oh, that scared the hell out of me.
I got a question here from Lunar83 who writes in and says, PlayStation announced that all launch day sales will be online, which I think is a good thing to avoid large lineups during these COVID times. But do you think that means another round of orders will be available on launch day? Or do you think all stock has been taken up with pre-orders and there's nothing left for now?
I think that they're going to put out some more on launch day. I don't think it's going to be a huge amount, but I definitely think that they have made more stock since the pre-orders first went up. So they're going to want another round of an influx of orders that they can prep for and plan around.
I don't know if we're going to see them on launch day, but I think like very soon after launch, I think you'll see it. Like it very much feels like all right, cool. Let's see how many people are going to order these things. All right, cool. Well, we sold out. All right, let's bulk up those numbers, put them out there again.
I think launch day.
You think launch day?
Yeah, because I think that they're going to want a story. And like that's just, there's a date already assigned to it that's just like, hey, it comes out this day. And if people are able to buy it that day, I think that's going to be powerful for them.
See, I think that kind of comes back to what is the purpose of them not having in-store units? And I feel like okay, yeah, selling online probably definitely mitigates that to a certain extent, but having online sale or having new units the day of conflated with pre-order units already being sold defeats the purpose a little bit of them being like, oh yeah, we want to like make sure that we're handling COVID right and all that stuff, right? If you're just gonna have even more people,
I feel
showing up on launch day.
I feel like what we're gonna see is day of we're gonna get more orders coming up, and they're gonna be for the next couple of days, so that we have
and then maybe that's
3 or 4 days of people going to the stores to get their PlayStation 5s. You know what I mean? Then there'll be like the day one people, and then there's the people afterwards that are like super hyped and excited and waiting for it.
And that's definitely going to be retailer to retailer. But yeah, I think that probably would be a good case scenario of, all right, launch day, there are more units available, but you can't pick up this unit until tomorrow or the day after tomorrow.
Yeah. But I mean, you'll be able to buy them, which is that to me is what I'm talking about. Of like launch day, you'll be able to buy, which is just how things work. And you might even be able to pick up later that day. But I think that the biggest thing is it's about shipping, where I truly believe that Sony wouldn't have put out the statement and they wouldn't be saying this if they knew that every Best Buy, every Target, every GameStop, everything across the country could have a good amount of PS5s in store. I think they realize that they can't do that, so they might as well have them all online so that way it could ship out to where they need to go. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it'd be weird if there was only like, hey, there's one PS5 in for every city. It's like, that's not enough. Anyways,
story number 3. EA has extended UFC and NHL licensing deals. This is Brendan Sinclair at GamesIndustry.biz. Electronic Arts has extended its partnerships with the National Hockey League and the UFC, the publisher confirmed in separate announcements today. For the NHL deal, EA announced a multi-year renewal of their decades-long partnership, offering no concrete details beyond that and making no mention of any form of exclusivity. The publisher was a little more specific about the UFC deal, saying it had locked up exclusivity on the UFC license through 2030. There are some limits to that exclusivity, as it does not extend into China, it does not extend to China, and it only covers games with mixed martial arts as the primary activity. EA says, quote, the UFC partnership will include more forms of play and self-expression available on more platforms, including expanded feature offerings for mobile players. This partnership will also focus on design, visualization, and development innovations for the games to grow and deepen the world of EA Sports UFC, impacting how they play and feel, and how players connect to the sport as it happens, end quote. As for EA's plans for the NHL, the company said only that the deal would let EA Sports, quote, accelerate authentic and innovative hockey simulation experiences, end quote, in years to come. Not surprising. On the UFC side, the fact that the deal was extended to 2030, for some reason, bums me out a little bit. I don't know why. I think it's
someone else working on the game, maybe?
Yes, I guess yes and no. Like, it's not that EA's done like a bad job with UFC games by any means, but UFC used to belong to the rights to the UFC games used to belong to THQ, who I liked the UFC games under THQ better than EA, and I think that's just because it felt like THQ just did more. Like it felt like they went harder as far as like the modes and the features and how the ground game felt and all this different stuff. EA over like the years have done well with UFC, but it very much feels like EA Sports games where it's very iterative and it is all right. Yeah, like here's a new version with an updated roster, and like we've tweaked some mechanics a little bit, but all in all, it is a UFC simulation. I kind of would like to see that property with somebody. I'd want to see what somebody else would do with it. Not saying that somebody else would do better necessarily, but I don't know. There's something about the UFC games that I feel like is missing in terms of heart. I don't know if that makes sense. And I know that kind of feels weird to say that about a sports game, especially where all sports games kind of are the same thing. But UFC, I feel like I just see a different way, where I feel like UFC could be something that is different and cooler and a little bit more outstanding, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where I'm at with it. In 10 years, this feels like a long time for one person to have a property.
That's the other thing, is just like when we start getting these deals that last that long, like it just reminds me of like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater back in the day, where they signed on for like a 13 game deal. And like we saw what happened there. That led us to Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, where it's just like holding on, like putting out shit just to hold on to the license. It's like, ugh, never good.
And I guess that's my thing too, is like there's not really any competition as far as UFC games right now. And so I feel like EA doesn't have any reason to like make their UFC games bigger and better. Like for now, they're just going to feel like iterations, and that's fine because again, like the games are good, they're fun, like they are what they are. But I don't know. NHL. When I read this story, I also looked up NHL reviews, and it seems like NHL reviews good, like 7s to 8s, and so like that's probably also a decent thing for the NHL fan base, and so. There you go. Story number 4, we have new Nintendo earnings. I'm reading this directly off of Nibel on Twitter, who tweeted out about 9 hours ago. New Nintendo earnings release. Switch has sold 6.85 million during the last quarter, pushing total hardware sales to 68.3 million units worldwide.
So close. To
what, 70? Animal Crossing has reached
69. Bless.
Oh, okay. I'm an idiot.
Wait. You were serious? I thought I thought you were fucking with us. And Bless, I was like, this kid's brilliant. He gets comedy so well. It turns out you're just dumb.
That was funny.
In my head, legit, I was like, maybe the 3DS sold, I don't know, barely above that or something. And so I was like, oh, maybe 70 mil. I don't know. And
that was hella funny.
When you didn't say anything, I was like, oh, I guess 70 million is the answer.
That was good.
Good for you, man.
That's hilarious. Animal Crossing has reached 26.04 million sold copies.
Holy
Super Mario,
shit!
Yeah, it's incredible. Super Mario 3D All Stars has sold 5.21 million units as of September 30th. Paper Mario is at 2.82 million units. And so if we're looking at the top Switch sales game by game, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has now reached 28.99 million units, and Animal Crossing is sitting at second place at 26.04 million units. Wild. Man,
absolutely.
A game that was released in 2020.
Yeah.
Second best-selling game on the Switch, losing only to a launch game that is Mario Kart, right?
28th best-selling game of all time.
Damn, Bless, you said it would never be up here, remember? You're like, there's no way it ever gets to second place. It proved you wrong.
I think I did say that.
No, he did, Tim. He did. That's the funny thing.
Who would have predicted it outsold? Because my prediction was, and I'm shocked that this hasn't happened yet.
It's outsold Smash.
Well, my prediction was Pokemon Sword and Shield rises to second place, and that still hasn't happened, because right now we're looking at Animal Crossing in second place, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate at about 21 million units at third place, Breath of the Wild at fourth place with 19.74 million units, and at fifth place Pokemon Sword and Shield at 19 million units. That's shocking to me that Pokemon is in fifth place.
Yeah. All these numbers, I mean, it's crazy. Somehow, every single time we talk about these Nintendo sales stories, I'm always on the show. It's a Thursday. I'm not usually, at least didn't used to be on Thursdays. And here it is. I love it, man. Nintendo doing well. You love to see it. Now give me some new games, please. Please, Nintendo.
Oh, I was gonna say, speaking of new games, this isn't actually a new game. Story number 5, Warframe, is getting a PS5 update. This is Ethan Gach at Kotaku. And Kevin, I have a trailer that I want us to watch, because I think. Now,
do you want to be able to hear it?
No, we don't have to hear it.
Okay.
We can just see the visuals.
Great.
Warframe was there for the launch of the PS4 generation and will return in an upgraded form on PS5 sometime before the end of the year. Developer Digital Extremes announced today. The studio shared some impressive comparison shots between the current gen and next gen versions of the free-to-play loot shooter over on the PlayStation blog today, including new lighting and fast load times. Players will be able to take advantage of when the upgrade goes live later this year. And yeah, if you're watching the video, the PS4 to PS5 upgrade looks substantial.
It's wild how dark it was. Why was it so dark?
You don't realize how dark it is until you see the PS5 version. You're like, oh, snap, look at all these textures here that are just hiding. They were just like hidden underneath the non-ray trace lights.
Man.
What is this game? I know it's
fantastic. So I played Warframe when it was on beta and PC, legit like 7 or 8 years ago. And it's basically you play as like these space ninjas.
Yeah.
I'm
digging all those words so far.
Yeah, the suit that you're in I believe is called a Warframe.
Yeah.
And you play as space ninjas, you go through and you chop stuff up and you shoot things. My build, I had a bow and arrow that I really liked. It was really cool. It's like it's a games as a service game. And so think like Destiny.
This is weird that they clipped this out, right? That little, because look,
the loading screen.
Yeah, I mean, this is what the loading screen looks like? But why is it look? It's all framey at the end. On the left.
Yeah, it is weird that they clipped the framey part out.
Yeah.
But yeah, the loading took 10 seconds as opposed to 41 seconds there. The list of improvements go like this, right? 4K resolution at 60 FPS, which, oh my god, that is amazing. Significantly shorter load times, dynamic lighting that follows the natural direction and strength of any given light source in an environment. Sharper textures, cross-gen play between PS4 and PS5, progress carried over to the next gen. Use of the adaptive triggers on the PS5 controller for shooting, and then sometime down the road, haptic feedback to make different planetary biomes feel unique.
Oh, so you got different planets.
Yeah, you go to different planets, yeah, and the haptic feedback is essentially going to feel different based on what surfaces and what planet
That's tight. You can
you're
have a
on.
squashy planet or like a jumpy planet. I like that.
Yeah, and based off my experience with Cooling Springs in Astro's Playroom, I'm very excited for that. That sounds really awesome.
Very specific, Bless.
Yeah. No, the cooling.
That's all you can say.
It's almost as if that's all I can say. But yeah, the Cooling Springs level in Astro's Playroom made me very happy and excited for what haptic feedback has to bring on the PS5 controller.
Oh,
but yeah, Warframe is also currently on Xbox One. Digital Extremes did not immediately respond to a request for comment by Kotaku about when the Xbox Series X and S versions of the game might be available, or whether its upgrades will be par with those announced today on the PS5. So there you go. Very exciting stuff. Tim, I want to tell you about story number 6. But before I do, I want to tell you about our sponsor. Of course, you can go to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames where you can get the show ad-free. And speaking of ads, this episode of Kind of Funny Games Daily is brought to you by Quip. There are only 2 types of people in the world. Those of us who brush and floss every day, and those of us who might just start. Thanks to Quip's new refillable floss pick. You know Quip, the electric toothbrush you hear about all the time, but it's their sleek, reusable floss pick you'll want to use next. The durable handle is easy to guide, restrings with a click, and comes with a compact mirrored dispensing case for on the go. Plus, a single refill pod replaces over 180 single-use plastic flossers, so it's better for your teeth and the environment. Pair your floss with the perfect electric toothbrush for adults and kids. Quip has the simple guiding features you need, like the timed sonic vibrations with guiding pulses to help you brush better. And now you can get amazing rewards just for brushing better every day. Quip also delivers brush heads, floss, and toothpaste refills every 3 months for $5. Shipping is free, so you can save money and skip the store. Bring delight to your everyday brushing and join the over 5 million mouths brushing with Quip, starting at $25. And if you go to getquip.com/games right now, you'll get your first refill free. That's your first refill free at getquip.com/games, spelled GETQUIP.com/games. We're also brought to you by getquip.com. We're also brought to you by DoorDash. Between never-ending laundry cycles and incoming emails, you've got plenty on your to-do list. Give yourself one less thing to worry about and let DoorDash take care of your next meal. DoorDash is the app that brings you the food you're craving right now, right to your door. Ordering is easy. Open the DoorDash app, choose what you want to eat, and your food will be left safely outside your door with the new contactless delivery drop-off setting. With over 300,000 partners in the US, Puerto Rico, Canada, and Australia, you can support your local go-tos or choose from your favorite national restaurants like Chipotle, Wendy's, and the Cheesecake Factory, or if you're like me, Jollibee. Many of your favorite local restaurants are still open for delivery. Just open the DoorDash app, select your favorite local restaurant, and your food will be left safely at your door. DoorDash deliveries are now contactless to keep the communities we operate in safe. Right now, our listeners can get $5 off and 0 delivery fees on their first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter code GAMES. That's $5 off and 0 delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and enter code GAMES. Don't forget, that's code GAMES for $5 off your first order with DoorDash. Tim, story number 6, Demon's Souls Remake on PS5 doesn't use ray tracing. This is from Iyane Agossah at Dualshockers. Sony Interactive Entertainment stated that the Demon's Souls remake on PS5 doesn't use ray tracing. We first learned that via an interview published by our Spanish peers at Level Up. Sony told Level Up that it's a time cost issue, which led Demon's Souls dropping the PS5's ray tracing. Moreover, our friends over at GameSpark contacted Sony to reconfirm. SIE says, quote, PS5 game Demon's Souls does not support ray tracing. In this remake, we greatly increased the number of polygons, objects density, and texture size. Our technology allowed us to create beautiful graphics with real-time rendering, pushing out to the max the details and the richness of the world of Demon's Souls, end quote. Additionally, GameSpark noted that while the initial Japanese press releases for the remake mentioned ray tracing, the ones starting September 2020 removed that mention. Interesting, right?
Yeah, I would say it's a major bummer. You know, no one would be able to see me say that, but it's all good. You know, it's not like this is a video show where there's 2 hosts. You know,
I mean, hey, who knows? It might still be bad.
Sorry, sorry, I had something come up.
Yeah, just fucking around.
It's all good.
It's all good. No, I'm kind of bummed by this. Demon Souls looks so fantastic, and I've been kind of like pushing it mentally for me as like the true next gen game visually that I want to look at as like the spectacle piece. And I wish that it was like playing with all the tech and the fun doodads that next gen's promising. So to not have this kind of a bummer, especially because everything that we've seen looks beautiful, and I wonder if some of the videos we've seen have had it, and then so what we're actually going to play is lesser then, and I hope that's not the case. But the other side of that is maybe everything we've been seeing hasn't, and it just looks that damn good.
Yeah, that's my thing. Is like I was surprised to read this, but I'm not bummed out because I think Bluepoint as a studio has proven that they're just excellent when it comes to making games look fantastic. And if you're telling me that, hey, we've done all this other stuff that's going to make the game look great even without ray tracing, then cool. Yeah, like I'll believe you. Like and for me too, like when it comes to video game preference, like I've been opting for playing games with 60 FPS, like on Forza Horizon 4 is actually an example where you can change back and forth from fidelity and performance modes. And I opt for performance mode usually, which usually doesn't have ray tracing as an option. And so like if the game runs smoothly, if it still looks beautiful, I'm fine to live in a world where Demon Souls doesn't have ray tracing as of now. Maybe that comes in an update or something later down the road. Who knows? Like I think that still seems like an open possibility. But
that just sucks though.
Yeah,
like because it's like I'm the opposite of you, where I tend to go the resolution way, and I like as long as the performance is good enough. And you know, when you have these new toys, it's like I want to be able to play with the new stuff. Like adding an update later doesn't help somebody that's trying to play the game now. And granted, Demon Souls, not really for me. So it's like I don't really have a hill to stand on with this one where it's like, all right, cool. That's fine. It doesn't need to be there. But for the people that do love those games, that care about that stuff, it's like, but also, hey, if it's going to make a better game and get the game out timely, I get it makes a lot of sense.
Tim, I'm really excited to play the PS5 and Xbox Series X games that do have ray tracing, but next gen, next week, it feels so far away. If I wanted those coming out to mom and grop shops today, where would I look?
The official list of upcoming software across each and every platform is listed by the Kind of Funny Games Daily show host each and every weekday.
Yeah. Out today.
You know how there's that tone? There's like a pitch that if you hear it, it makes you shit your pants.
The
brown note. Kevin, I don't know what he just did. It wasn't that, but it gave me gas. You know, it definitely hit me different.
Gross. That's nasty. Tim.
I know what you mean, though. I know what you mean. Like Kevin definitely hit a certain tone and then kept it in a way that was actually kind of impressive. Like Kevin, I was very impressed with the way you kept that note.
Thank you very much. I did it for you.
You did your damn thing. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'd like to think I would have gotten 2 stars. That's all I'm saying. Today.
You maybe would have. I would have given you a star for that.
There you go.
I would have.
My 2nd star.
But I also would have taken away a star because of the way that the show started, where we couldn't get like the intro and the actual transition to the show right. You know what I mean?
I mean, like, still that's a technical issue.
Still that gap.
It's a technical issue. You know what I'm saying? At this point,
aren't you like you're our tech guy though?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to solve it. If I do the intro one more time, it'll probably be less this time. You want to try it again?
Let's try it again. Do it. Oh, you did it. Finally, it works.
I fucking love this show.
I mean, the problem is I have to tweak
it
these
only
things
took
out.
4 days.
Well, to be fair, I didn't really feel like it was. I didn't understand it was a problem till.
I love
it was a problem the first day.
Bless had no faith that it was going to work.
I
did not think it was going to work at all.
He got so tough.
The amount of times that we've restarted based like not even on this show, on other shows, like the intro, I'm shocked that it worked in like in the middle of a show, right, off a whim. Like, all right, let's do it, and you were able to make it work. I'm very proud of you, Kevin. You did your damn thing. You get a third imaginary star.
I said that.
The chat's letting us know that it was not a flawless victory.
Yeah, something's wrong with the audio.
The audio's fucked.
Which is you know what it was? You know what it was? I know why it was fucked. Because I have to mute the desktop audio, so just that one track plays.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to do it again.
Yeah, we gotta do another one.
No,
we're doing this until it works.
No, like we shouldn't, because like I have to go in there and here. Let me see. Where is it? Mixer.
You got this, Kevin. I believe in you.
Audio.
I like today's show. Today's show's off the rails.
Audio. Okay. And then I have to
create more
one
bacon.
that unmute. Yeah, I wish you did too. Because I did some extra work on the bacon graphic.
Oh yeah. No, I was seeing it. I don't know if the people who were watching
they
live
couldn't see it. They couldn't see it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Les,
yeah, I saw what you're doing.
Did you go to the Watch the Throne concert?
No, I never did.
Oh, you missed out on one of the greatest
where
shows
they did
I've ever seen.
Yeah,
they did Paris over and over as an encore. This feels like the lame version of that.
Oh, 100%. That's all I've wanted to be. Like I've always just wanted to be the lame version of Jay-Z.
I'll take.
I was gonna say Kanye, but Kanye is the lame version of Kanye nowadays.
Damn, so good. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna wrap out the show, and then we're gonna end the show with Kevin's final attempt to get the intro right.
No, can I do it now? I just finished.
Okay, fine. Go for it.
Well, it's a lot of pressure now. You know what I mean?
All right, we'll come back to you at the end of the show.
All right, yeah. Come at me at the end.
Out today, we got Yes Tomorrow for PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PC, and Mac. Ponpu for PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PC.
Ponpu. What a terrible name.
Seven Nights Time Wanderer for Switch. Gray Skies, A War of the Worlds story for Xbox One and PC. Comanche for Xbox One. Knights and Bikes for Xbox One. Chicken Police for PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Cosmocrats for PC, Mobius Front 83 for PC and Mac, The Blue Coats North and South for PC and Mac, Real Politics 2 for PC, Fantasy Tavern Sextet for Volume 1, New World Days for Switch, Seven Nights Time Wanderer for Switch, Tens for Switch, Iris and the Giant for Switch, Outbreak, The Nightmare Chronicles for Switch, My Little Dog Adventure for Switch, Cafe Enchante for Switch, My Riding Stables 2, A New Adventure for Switch, 8-Bit Farm for Switch, What the Fork for Switch, Dragon Lapis for Switch, new triple and then there are new triple and double rewards awaiting in GTA Online this week. While all pistols are available free of charge at Ammunition, alongside a free thruster livery for longing in, plus a variety of discounts on vehicles and live properties. Here's the thing. Every now and then, as I'm going throughout today, Greg will always drop in like a random update from GTA Online and Red Dead Redemption 2. And I'm always like, I've been so out of tune with what's going on in these games. This is one of those ones where I'm like, fuck, it's been a while since I played GTA Online because I have no idea what they're talking about with the thruster liveries. And then new days for you. We have Bubble Bobble 4. Oh no, Bubble Bobble for Friends. The Baron is back. That's coming. It's back. That's coming on November 17th for PS4 and Switch. Drawn to Life: Two Realms is coming to Nintendo Switch, Steam, and mobile for iOS and Android on December 7th. And then WWE Undefeated will release worldwide on Thursday, December 3rd for 2020 for iOS and Android devices. Deal of the day for you. EA Play members get unlimited access to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order starting November 10th. Now it's time to squad up. Of course, you write in patreon.com/kindafunnygames. Let us know what games you're playing and what you want to get done, and we'll squad you up with the community. Michael writes in with a squad up on PS4 and says, I'm looking for some best friends who are raid ready in Ghost of Tsushima Legends, or anybody that just wants to play Legends in general. I've been having a blast playing with two friends, and we're all key level 105 plus now. But the absence of matchmaking leaves us stuck without a fourth for the tale of EO. I work third shift on Eastern time, so between dad duty and work, my gaming is limited to mostly weekends. You can find me in the Kinda Funny Discord at MICRWARD #4969, or add me on PSN as Mikey2013. That is spelled MIKEY 2013. Looking forward to slaying some demons with the best friends. P.S. Congrats, Bless, on clearing the raid earlier in the week. For what I understand, it's no easy task, and I can't wait to find out for myself. If you want to go play Ghost of Tsushima Legends with Michael, go for it. Again, Mikey2013 is the PSN username, and yes, the raid is difficult, I'll tell you. But honestly, it's not impossible. Like it's a fun time. It took me, GoFarb, Simon Cardy from IGN, and Mike Mamone from IGN. It took us, I want to say, a total of about 8 hours to complete the raid. And it's a blast. And so have fun, have a blast doing it. Now it's time.
Quick question.
Kind of funny.
Quick question for Tim. What was the Michael Jackson Disney thing? What was that called?
Captain EO.
And then what's this called? The
Tale of EO.
Okay. I thought those were really close, and every time people say it, I'm like, "What are these? What's going on with Michael Jackson?"
It's spelled different. What's Michael Jackson up to?
He's dead.
Oh shit.
No, it's okay. He was bad to kids.
It's fucking show.
Kindafunny.com/you're wrong. A lot of people are writing in about breaking news. There's a lot of breaking news. Apparently, PlayStation had a field day during the show. PS5 apparently won't support SSD storage at launch.
Huh.
And then, sorry, I'm trying to find a lot of you are providing sources, which I really appreciate because that's the way you should do it when it comes to breaking news. I'm trying to find a source that kind of encompasses all that's going on right now.
That's
because
very adult. You know,
that's
like
what now? What do you say, Kevin?
That's very adult, citing your sources. I respect that a lot.
Yeah.
Anyone out there?
I don't want to just read false news.
That's some shit Nano wouldn't do. You know what I mean?
I'm still feeling the gas that Kevin gave me.
Hold on. All right, Nibel's helping me out here. Sorry, give me a second to gather my thoughts and not just rush into things. Okay, yeah. So, there's new PlayStation 5 videos that are showing off certain OS features. Listen, there's PlayStation 5 stuff going on. Me and Greg will talk about it tomorrow because that'll just be easier than to do it. Talk about it now. And again, PS11 is coming out tomorrow too, and so you'll hear about us talk about that there.
Ooh.
But to sum it up, SSD apparently won't expandable SSD won't be available at launch, and then apparently the PS5 won't support 1440p is also what I'm seeing here. Those are the two tidbits. Whoa.
Titty bits.
Ew.
And then
Bless, a quick question.
Ignacio Rojas points out that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe wasn't a launch title. It came out in April. That is correct. That's a good point. What's up, Kevin?
The PlayStation 5, will it have a second slot? Or is it that you have to pull out the SSD and swap it?
Pull out.
Kevin, you're asking me questions that I don't know
pull
if I
out
can
and
answer.
swap it?
I imagine. I don't think there's two spots in a console. The PS5 isn't big enough to fit that.
I love Tim's energy today. 'Cause I don't know what that laugh was. I don't know where that laugh came from.
Because it's fucking huge. It's huge. So I'm hearing some people say there's a second slot. Yeah, a lot of people in the chat saying second slot.
Tomorrow's hosts for the show are Greg and
all right,
me.
hold on.
Also,
hold on a
apparently
second. Sorry, hold on a
and
second. Hold on. All right, Miller, you're live.
Yeah, I'm listening to the show. Yeah, there's definitely a second slot. They've shown that you pop off the thing, you leave in the SSD that's already there, and you install the expandable storage inside.
What are you laughing at? I don't know what the hell he's laughing about.
Me and Tim. I'm sure the audience can probably hear what Greg's saying. All me and Tim heard were like,
they can't hear you, Greg.
oh shit. Is Greg even still here? Is he still there?
He hung up.
He hung up. What do you say, Kevin?
Hold on, Greg Miller's calling me.
He said,
He's calling me. Greg Miller, what's up?
Tim, you know how to use a phone and a microphone, right?
Mm-hmm.
the fuck's that supposed to hang up on him?
All right, cool. What I was saying is that, no, there is a slot in there. You leave the SSD for the PS5 in there, and then you install the expandable stuff inside.
There you go.
Boom.
Hey,
You're live, you're wrong.
Can you explain to him that,
appreciate
like, the kids heard him?
It was
The kids
video
heard
where
him.
The guy broke it down, and he showed the little slot there.
But how big is the PS5, Greg?
Oh, she's a big old girl.
I know what you mean. All right, bye, Greg.
No, Tim, explain to him. Would have really helped me out if you explained that I know how to use a speaker and that it was your.
Again, tomorrow's hosts for the show are Greg and me. Kevin,
doesn't get better.
Are you ready? You only get one more shot to get it right.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Did we nail it?
Everything seemed good to me.
Yeah, perfect 10 out of 10. Everyone's all hyped.
Everybody's happy.
Baby.
And
let's go.
Let's go. Of course,
why I have an intro only button, like, is so dumb. I don't remember.
This has been Kind of Funny Games Daily, each and every weekday live right here on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. We run you through the nerdy news you need to know about. We have a Patreon post show for those that are subbed at the silver level of patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. So stick around for that. Otherwise, till next time, Game Daily.